What's going on, everybody? Ben Reeve here again from the Hoop Show. We're going to have a look at Brandan Parfitt's season in 2022, number three, episode number 3. If you haven't caught up with the other episodes already, might want to check them out. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. So there's Brad. He loves it when people subscribe. We've got, I think we've just ticked over 433 subscribers, so getting close to 500 now. So yes, join up if you can. But all right, so Brandan Parfitt, he had I think he played 17 games this year. I thought he was really good up until he got that injury, which kind of forced him out of the team, sadly, towards the end of the year, and only just made it back for the last couple of minutes of the grand final, which was really sad for him because he did have that interrupted final series last year as well. Couldn't get on, and that really affected our chances at the flag, combined with the Tom Stewart injury as well. Hasn't had a great run at the tail end of a season for the last couple of years, but is showing a lot of good signs and is an absolute tackling beast. His numbers are pretty similar to previous years in most of the important categories. He just, I guess, from the eye test with Parfitt, he looks a lot more assured, comfortable with his own game. I think the big thing that was keeping him or putting him on the fringe, I suppose, was the rise of Tom Atkins throughout the year. And we're really the similar type of players. They're not clones of each other, but similar roles. And it was Atkins. There was no way he was going out of this side. I mean, talk to Tom Atkins, he'd probably tell you he's a VFL player. But no, for everyone else, it was Parfitt. He's probably not. He was probably running second to Tom Atkins, and a couple other injuries and so forth, Menengola and all that were keeping him in the side. But come the finals, it was he wasn't in our best 22 for that first final. And as I thought, as much as they said, we're picking a 22 different every 22 every week, depends on horses for courses and all that. It kind of, when it comes to it, it is pretty hard to change a winning formula. A team that wins a final, dropping someone from that team, it's pretty difficult. And getting, even if you've played pretty well, even if the VFL side's still going, you're playing well, it's hard to get in. So, but yes, he did make it back for the grand final. So look, I thought overall his season was really good. I think it was probably no better or worse than last year. And again, I think that's mostly down to injuries. Give him a fresh run at it this year. Look, there's going to be, it's not going to get any easier for him with a few younger guys coming in. Tanner Bruin, Jack Bowes, and Ollie Henry's probably not really competing for the same spots, but that the former two are. It'll be he'll be up against it still, and as will those other guys, and probably a few others. But it may depend on that rotation. Management policy that the club goes forward with or doubles down on next season. I think he's in the side. I think he's in our best 22 most weeks. We probably won't have the charmed run with injuries that we did have in the second half of this year. Clearly Parfitt got his injury, but we had a lot of players coming back, and we've already got Tom Hawkins struggling with. I think went under some surgery, so he'll be out for a little bit. Hopefully back for round 1. Look, if I'm giving him a score out of 10, I'm probably giving him probably a 7.5 out of 10, or a B maybe, something like that. Pretty similar to Tui, the rating I gave to Tui last week. I thought, I think I wouldn't say he got better this year. There's probably some other players in the side that sort of stepped up their game a little bit, but I think Parfitt did enough to warrant probably our best 23, 24. And maybe again it just depends on who's fit and firing and who we're playing and all that sort of stuff. But I'm a big one for tackles. I love the way he goes about it. I think he was in the top 10 at one point in the comp for tackles before he got injured. So he's always up there. Sometimes gets caught with it going the other way a little bit. That's probably one thing, or maybe that's just I notice it. Maybe that awareness thing. Sometimes he's not always. I wouldn't say he's slow, but sometimes he's not always aware of or doesn't have the peripheral But maybe I'm looking into it too much. I don't know. But that's just what I pick up on sometimes when I'm watching the game. I don't know. I did put out the in the Twitter last night or during the day what other people's thoughts were. It was mostly positive, I think. On everyone was saying how unlucky he was, but it was so great to see him come back for that grand final and kick a goal. It was fantastic, wasn't it? So I was really happy. And it was a bit, as I said, a bit of a shame he got injured. A lot of people were saying that as well. A bit of a shame that he couldn't quite do it. And he's very skillful, very talented fellow. But yeah, he just needs to somehow find a role for himself. And maybe that'll be what he needs to work on to add another dimension to his game. Maybe that's going forward. Maybe that's being in a backline role. I don't know. Maybe he does more of that Zach Tui role. I don't know if Tui's going to get a few more rests this year. I'm not sure. He's more of an in and under type player though. So yeah, I don't know. Like I think he's good, but yeah, whether we've got other players for that kind of thing. But look, Trevor Young was saying he's been a walk-up for a few years now, and I think he's probably still will be for 17, 18, 19 games of the year. But yeah, 2023 won't be a mirror copy of 2022. Everything just went perfect for us towards the second half of the year, 16 on the trot. The streak continues in 2023. It won't be the same next year. There'll be some things that will go wrong, and there's a lot of new guys coming in, which is great, and a lot of other players finishing up that still want to make the most of their twilight years, and you get that premiership, you want another one. So I think the hunger will be there. I think we've got the right mix, the right ingredients for the players to want to go again. I think it'll just be some other teams that'll naturally get better, and we'll see what the fixture looks like. That always plays a little role too, so I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, anyway, that's my Parfitt review. As I said, 7.5 out of 10, probably a B. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, let me know on Twitter. Who we got next? Sean Higgins, I think, number 4. So we'll try and get that one out next Monday as well. And then we'll just keep going up the list. It's going to be sad doing solid when we get to number 14. I might try and pump out a couple a week, just so we can get. 6 months goes pretty quick, the off season. So if we want to get through the whole list, and there's a few players in the 40s, we'll might have to pump a few of these out every week. But let me know what you think anyway. Are you liking these videos? Are they worth doing? I'll do them anyway, whether you like them or not. But yeah, something to keep me busy and keep the channel going. And yeah, so please have a subscribe. Do the subscribe thing. We're getting there to 500. Help us out, and that'll see me out for another episode of The Hoop Show. Take care, everyone. See you later.